Okay, today is October the 30th, 2017, and right now at 8 p.m. we have a temperature of 60 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 76%, the dew point is 52 degrees, and we have a barometer reading of 29.98. All right, now today we had heavy drizzle overnight, and that registered about 2/100ths of an inch in the meter. Okay, so, but the ground was not uniformly wet, so this heavy drizzle did not penetrate the trees and bushes uh, enough to wet the ground entirely. All right, now we're looking at the northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and we have a low pressure system right out here just northeast of the Hawaiian Islands. We can see that spinning. This area, this low pressure system is barricaded. It's surrounded by high pressure in order to prevent this jet stream flow right here from moving into that low pressure vortex. All right, so that low pressure is isolated from all of the surrounding weather and moisture to prevent development. Also, this is the low pressure system that passed over Southern California this morning. We see that now it's moving through the middle of south central Arizona right there. This morning, this giant hole here was right over Los Angeles. This is a transmitter right over that low pressure system, by the way, and that is preventing a lot of the rotation we would normally see like out here. But this system also has a transmitter on it. We can see a right angle right here, and we see some very strange oblique angles in the center of that vortex. This should be a perfect spiral like you would see on a seashell. The oblique angles are evidence of transmitter manipulation to break down and weaken these low pressure systems, and also to prevent the rain. If you look at the western U.S. water vapor loop, we can see that there's very little rotation in this system as it passes right over Southern California. This is basically a surface to 300 millibar low pressure system. If you look at the pressure charts right now, this is the sea level pressure analysis. And let me see if I can refresh that and get a better, more complete map. Okay, nope. All right, so anyhow, these snapshots. This is the most current pressure data. We see a low right here. This area is low pressure at the surface level. And we have high pressure indicated out here in the North Pacific. Let's take a look at the 500 millibar map. We see a closed low, which has moved away from east from California, right here. And on the 300 millibar map, we see that this is no longer a closed low. This morning, if we take a look at the 300 millibar map from this morning, right here, we see that this is a closed low. Now, if we look at the 500 this morning, we see that this is a closed low. We have some transmitter manipulation. This squiggly line right here, this is where the transmitters are working to install high pressure right on top of a low pressure. So we see these strange squiggly lines. That indicates varying degrees of high and low pressure all mixed together in this area along that isobar. And then, of course, the surface map, this is an indicated low right here, but yet there was zero rain this morning. If we look at the Doppler snapshot from this morning, we see that California and Arizona, there was really no rain at all, except for right up along the High Sierra near Lake Tahoe, and just south of that area, there's a little bit of rain showing up this morning at around 11:56 a.m. right here. Now, if we look at the current Doppler map right now at right around 8:15, 8:20, we can see that there's no rain anywhere except for a little bit right here on near the Nevada border. And then out here where that low is moved, we see that there is some rain over Arizona. But if we zoom in, It looks like this is being chopped up by one of those Nexrad microwave ground transmitters. Looks as though this area here was targeted. There's a transmitter probably in this area that is breaking down this precipitation pattern. But there's just not enough rain here to substantiate that. We see a cutout right here. That's very abnormal. That should be all filled in. At any rate, we know what these transmitters are capable of. That is the ground-based Nexrad dual function microwave Doppler radar, and also the higher powered, the dual function, which is the higher powered microwave, which they can chop up the precipitation there. All right, let's take a look at some of these other maps. We have the western U.S. water vapor loop, and we see that low exiting California, leaving a mere 2/100ths of an inch here in the foothills. We've got another low pressure out here, as I said, that is surrounded by high pressure. If you look at the big map, we can see that right here. And then there's a separate developing storm right out here a little bit further out, which also is being manipulated by high pressure. We can see the installation of high pressure right here, and that will prevent the jet stream right here from flowing into that low. So everything is chopped up in a strategic manner to prevent this moisture here from getting right into that vortex and feeding that low pressure. Instead, it's being disrupted. We can see the disruption right here, that black area. Normally this should flow around and right back into that low, but that's not happening. They're cutting that off right there. And we see the Hawaiian Islands right here. We have some thunderstorm activity right down here in these tropical latitudes. But this here is the big news. Of course, there's no substantial rain. If anybody got any rain in Arizona, let us know. Okay, let's take a look next at the infrared map. We can see a lot of moisture moving through, which equates to a lot of chemtrail activity. I did look at the MODIS Today map, which is not, well, actually it is pulled up here. Here we go. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Southern California. Let's go take a look at that here real quick. We'll put it on the max zoom. This is the color satellite map. That may take a minute to load. Meantime, let's take a look at some of these other maps. This is the southwest water vapor map. And we can see that low pressure right here, the center of that, which has a transmitter on it. Very little rotation. All this should be winding clockwise right around that low, but that's not happening because of the transmitter that's following this, and we can see that there's no rotation, very small amount of rotation here, and that's why there's no rain. That, and coupled with the transmitter manipulation here shown in the MODIS Today map. Let's take a look at that right now. And we can see that right down here, this is Los Angeles right here. And this is a different map. Earlier today, I was looking at this map and we saw some chemtrail haze over. Let's take another look here. Let's go down a little bit further south. Nope, it's all whited out. Okay, well, here we go. A little bit further north. Here, this is Vandenberg right here. You can see the chemtrail haze right here. We have some natural clouds moving in. These brilliant white clouds are the natural water vapor laden clouds. This gray stuff right here, which is sprayed over the tops of these clouds, is the chemtrail haze, and that prevents the lift. Okay, let's pan around a little bit. We can see that other areas, we can see this gray haze right in this area. We have the brilliant white, which is the natural clouds, and we have this sort of off-white gray stuff, which is scattered around. Today's map is not very, it doesn't show a whole lot of evidence. Here we see some more gray stuff all through here. That is the chemtrail haze. And also these maps are manipulated. A lot of times we can't rely on the information that's shown on this MODIS Today map. But today we can see that there is some spraying. We can see right here actually here just west of Los Angeles. Near the this is the Santa Monica Bay right here. We do see some haze sprayed over these clouds. Okay. All right, let's continue on here. We have the water vapor map for the southwest. We can see very little rotation. The fact that there is a lot of water vapor moving in but no rain indicates that the chemtrail spraying operation was probably a lot more intense than the MODIS Today map was revealing. Here on the East Coast, we can see a huge storm system right up here, which is moving very quickly. We can see the flow pattern right through here, and this is being manipulated. We can see a lot of strange angles on this low as it moves up north up into Canada. Okay, let's take a look now at the SSEC water vapor map. We can see this low pressure offshore with all of these strange angles. We actually have a right angle right about there, and we have another right angle right there. So there's a transmitter working on the center of that vortex. Also, we see a lot of chemtrail spraying right in this area right here. I don't know if that's showing up too well on the camera. Here we see that low that passed right over Southern California today with just virtually no rain. It's basically drizzle, just a 2/100ths of an inch. So we do see a lot of chemtrails right here that are being sprayed back and forth like a graph paper, pattern. We can see that right here. Now here's the jet stream map, and we see the disruption here in the jet stream right over here. There's another storm right behind this area of low pressure spinning. They've got this all split up. And we have another disruption right here over Canada and high pressure right in the North Pacific. Once again, we can see that here in the large water vapor map for the Northeast Pacific. Got all this high pressure here. That's the clockwise rotation, right adjacent to a low. We have another low right out here, which is being separated. And we have another storm right up here, just out on the West Pacific, I guess that is. Bering Sea is right up here. This would be probably the West Pacific. Okay, so that is the report for tonight. And again, we see no rain all day long. This is how the map has looked. Just a smattering of rain here in the central California area. Nothing. Okay, that's it. We'll just leave it right here.